I'm going to be doing a reading for Scorpio. First, I want to start off with saying I've been doing the zodiac signs alongside their opposite sign, because I feel like, or I've been noticing that when I do that, it almost acts as if the signs are like two different sides to the same coin, is how I explained it in the last video. And I'm going to try to explain that for all of the signs. And this could be like maybe two different aspects of yourself, two different aspects to a situation you're dealing with, or maybe the different aspects to, or like maybe your side or the other person's side. If that makes sense. Maisie's back there. What a cutie pie. Cutie little pie. And I've been intermittent fasting. Oh God. So I do my tarot readings after I get off work. And I'm done eating by the time I'm done eating lunch. So I finish lunch and then I'm fasting the rest of the day. So I'm drinking tea, and my favorite brand is the Yogi brand, because they have little fortunes on the end of it, or little words of advice. And shucks. Personal growth lies within the unknown. Courage permits you to explore this place. And I just want to see if that ends up fitting. If I remember to acknowledge it by the time the end of the video comes. Who knows? Alright, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Alrighty, what does Scorpio need to know? The power of words. I'll try to remember to read that to you. The power of what you say, what you bring into your life. What you say to other people. What does Scorpio need to know? Okay. Wild at heart. Piercing the mist. And sweet temptation. Oh, it's the power of words, isn't it? That's why I can't find it. Oh, and there's wild at heart. It's all here. All right, the power of words. Tradition says that the weaver of fate is a great spider known as the timekeeper. By delivering him heartfelt notes via his lesser kin, the pentacle spiders, Ruby Hawthorne hopes her words can influence her fate. Of all humanity's achievements, language is perhaps the greatest gift and curse. Words have power. Once said, they cannot be taken back. In our age of instant communication, they can travel the globe in seconds and be preserved indefinitely. Be precise with your words and send them into the world as ambassadors, not weapons. I get the feeling of speaking to someone as though somebody can see what you say. Or speaking your dreams into existence. That could be another thing. Okay, wild at heart. Eagles have been pushed further into remote and rocky places by persecution. Witches have been forced to find ever more secluded locations for their covens for much the same reasons. Daisy Nettles could dwell on her bitterness at this injustice, but would it do any good? Instead, she takes flight on her lightning staff into those harsh mountains where the eagles reign and finds peace in her love of music. No matter the scale of the darkness facing us, beauty is always singing. Daisy finds just a few notes on her violin are enough to soften the gloom of the darkest clouds. There's always something to be grateful for. And it's not worth it to carry bitterness in your heart about anything. And maybe you have a connection with music, or maybe there's a song that's calling to you. I've always found singing as a good way to release any stuck energy in my heart. Piercing the mist. C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Okay. Lilac Be Sweet places flowers to remember her friend, wishing he was close by. She doesn't realize that he's right beside her, watching her in spirit, because grief has clouded all, even the sun. However, just like the sun struggling to break through, hope lives even in despair. Even if it seems remote and veiled. The light of the sun will eventually pierce the mist, and then the scale of our pain becomes visible. The pain might be vast, but it is not infinite. It will have an end and an escape. Finding hope in a dark situation. Feel your pain. Let it speak. I feel like when we allow ourselves to feel whatever it is that we're feeling in those dark moments, it helps it pass. It helps us open up to the sun or our hope piercing the veil or piercing the mist, coming out of that painful time. And then Sweet Temptation. This trio of fairies was sent on a mission to collect strawberries for the coven. The juicy ripe fruit proved too much of a temptation. Instead of harvesting the wild berries, the two young fairies began snacking on them. Before things got out of hand, the oldest fairy reminded them of the importance of their task. Fortified by the fruit, the fairies got back to work and finished in no time. At times, it's simply impossible to resist sweet offerings. Sometimes it's not only okay to indulge, but it actually helps us keep motivated. Just remember to keep the goal in mind and balance the bitter with the sweet. It's okay to take time for yourself. It's okay to take a moment and rest. It's okay to take a moment to do something that revitalizes you. We need those moments in order to find something to be grateful for, to be able to keep trucking on even through dark times. Okay. And I don't think I'm feeling called to any other oracle. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the tarot. This is going to be a quick reading. SpaghettiOs. I hate it when that happens. Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. This person is hurt, broken, disillusioned. Okay. So the Three of Cups flipped up but went back in the deck, didn't really fully come out. And then the King of Swords flipped, went back upside down, and landed back in the deck. Swords, Three of Cups. The Three of Cups can speak of... I feel like I like to see it as a time of connection. I mean, they're here partying and everything, but spend time with loved ones. Is there anything else for Scorpio? The Empress reversed. Jeez Louise. Holy mac and cheese, man. Okay, I think that's going to be it. Before I started shuffling that second time, I saw the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon at the bottom of the deck. The Moon speaks to that which is hidden within us. The Wheel of Fortune speaks to fate. I might want to look and see what it has to say, though, because with the Wheel of Fortune, there's not a whole lot we can control. Sometimes how we decide to move through a situation can spin the Wheel of Fortune in our favor, but there's a lot of destined faded energy about the Wheel of Fortune. And then with the moon being that which cannot be seen, maybe there is something you can't see coming, like change, incoming change that you can't see. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. The King of Swords speaks of needing to take your heart out of a situation. To lead more logically rather than with your heart about something, or think more with logic than with emotion. I don't know what this could be about. Or you could be taking on a very cold, judgmental, harsh type of mindset about something. Perhaps that's why we need to reconnect with people we care about. And those were just the cards that kind of like flipped up but landed back in the deck. So sometimes I just take those as sort of like an energy, if that makes sense. Like, it's not necessarily the advice or what do I want to say? I mean, it is all advice. But not the exact point either, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. Then we have the Empress reversed. Her boobie's hanging out, so I gotta cover it. And the Page of Pentacles. The Empress came out first, reversed, and then this came out. So when I did some reading on the Empress being reversed, it said something along the lines of either being taken advantage of, like your nurturing side being taken advantage of, or being cut off from your feminine aspect, it being suppressed, which everybody has both. There needs to be a balance in order for us to be balanced. And the feminine energy tends to speak of being in a state of allowing what comes to come and allowing what goes to go. Being too much in your masculine speaks of action, trying to control things, trying to make things happen, force things to happen sometimes. But there is this message of a new beginning. And the Pentacles tend to have something to do with financial things. Financial, energetic, abundance. So what do I feel like this is trying to say? Reconnect with hope. Do something that gives you a break from the disappointment and disillusionment you're feeling. Take your time, recharge, reconnect with something to be grateful for. Because I think like I said, with the Wheel of Fortune and the moon being at the bottom of the deck, there's a lot that you can't see. And there's a lot that this isn't telling you. It's just telling you how to deal with the state of emotion that you're in. Alright, I think I'm going to leave that there. I don't know what this would be about. I'm even not getting a whole bunch about the situation. But I'm wishing you the best. I hope you find something that makes you feel a little bit better, makes you feel a little more hope in whatever situation that you're in. Have a good night.